everybody, my name is Lucas. I'm working for Bristol Tuning Academy. I would like to introduce Dr. Brooklands. He's the specialist about the Ford Capris.
Hello Lucas, how are you?
Hello Chris.
Okay.
Could you tell us about the Capris?
Okay, look, in 1964 and a half, Ford released in America the Ford Mustang. In 1968, they introduced into Britain the Ford Capri with a 1.3 and a 1.6 engine, and later a 2-litre. The Capris that I am most familiar with, and the ones I enjoy the best, is the Capri 2.8 and the 280 Brooklands. I've owned 48 of them, and I've restored over 40 of them. So the Capri came into the UK with the 2.8 engine out of the Cologne factory in Neil, the Neil factory in Cologne, Germany, 1981. And the car that is behind me is a 1981 Capri 2.8. It came with a 4-speed gearbox initially, and then about 2 or 3 years later, Ford introduced the 5-speed gearbox. Ford had originally done the Essex engine in a 3-litre, but then hence the Cologne engine came out. It was still 6-cylinder V6. It had a dual-ported cylinder head, whereas the 3-litre had the 3-ported manifold on the heads, and it actually was a more freer flowing engine and released a bit more power. Ford built the 2.8 Capri up until 1986, 1987. Later 2.8s were known as the Special, and that had a limited slip differential, slightly different interior. Some were half leather, although the early Capris were mainly cloth seating. My favourite of all is the Capri 280 Brooklands. The Capri 280 was released in the UK. It was for the UK market only, and it was released in 1987, and they built 1,038 of them. They were all released from the factory in December of 1986. There are only about 400 surviving Capri 280s. The distinction between the 280 and the standard 2.8 was the Brooklands green colour, hence the nickname the Brooklands, or the Brookie, because of the colour. Ford only ever knew it as Capri 280. It had a distinctive red and white stripe. It had the full raven leather interior, and apart from that, well, there was a small technical thing called a dim dip thing hidden away in the engine bay, which meant you could have side lights on, dipped lights on, or they would do a dim dip. Now, not many people know that, but it was a kind of safety feature. For me, that was always a favourite car. Ford, in conjunction with Turbo Technics, they created a turbo version. One was what they call the F9 200 brake horsepower. The other was the F16 230 brake horsepower, and that really, you needed a pilot's license to drive that. It was just a fantastic machine. So they stopped making them in December of 1986, but as they say, the legend lives on, and the Capri has always been the car you promised yourself. Okay, Lucas has shown me this green Capri here today. This is a 1981 model. Now, it's a little bit customized, it's a little bit different. Some might say quirky, some say it's been molested beyond what you should do for a Ford Capri. It's got Capri 280 pinstriping and logos on it. It's got a colour which is lighter than the Capri 280. It's all down to personal taste. And in a moment we'll have a look at the leather and the wheels, which again, they're different. Ford wouldn't have done it this way, but Lucas has done it this way, and it's going to appeal to somebody. Okay, on this car we can see, as I said earlier, the Capri 280 stripes and logo is on it. You'll notice that the rub strips have been removed from the car. It does give a cleaner look to it, and obviously it's not a rust trap. And the wheels on this particular car are 13-inch, but they're sort of like mini light or super light replica wheels on 13-inch, giving a sort of a retro look to the car. Again, Ford wouldn't have fitted these, because on this particular car would have been the pepper pot alloy wheels as made by Ford Motorsport. It's got the original bumpers on it, original spoiler on the back, and I'll say, apart from the colour, if this car had had Brooklands green on it, it would be difficult to tell it apart from a Brooklands from a distance. It's just that when you get a little bit closer, you can see some of the differences, and I think that would include the interior. So we'll have a look at the leather if we can, Lucas. The leather on this car has been handmade, hand-stitched, and it's an excellent job. The seats are superb. People who know the Brooklands 280 will see that the piping has been stitched and it's a green colour, whereas obviously on the Raven seats done by Connolly of London was a cherry kind of piping.
I would like to thank the special guest Dr. Brookland today, and thank you for watching, guys.